Okay, so we've all been there, right? You've got this brilliant idea, a really solid plan, and even the budget to make it all happen. But then comes the hard part. How do you get everyone, and I mean everyone, from the CEO down to the regional managers, to actually get on board? Well, let's dive into how AI is completely changing the game of stakeholder alignment.
Seriously, just think about it for a second. You see it all the time. A fantastic strategy, a well-thought-out plan, a huge budget, and somehow it still just falls apart. Why on earth does this happen over and over again? Well, the answer is, frankly, pretty staggering. According to McKinsey, a massive 70% of major change initiatives failed to hit their goals. I mean, that's not a small number. That's practically the norm. It's wild. And here's the real kicker. The problem usually isn't the idea itself, or the tech, or the plan. Nope. The real culprit, the thing that brings it all crashing down, is stakeholder misalignment. It's that complicated, unpredictable web of human emotions, hidden priorities, and office politics. It's the people. So, if we want to figure out how to fix this mess, we first have to understand why the way we've always done it is so completely broken. Let's take a look at the old, slow, and painful way of trying to get everyone on the same page. I mean, just look at this process. It's a total marathon of inefficiency. You spend the entire first week just trying to get on people's calendars. Then you're stuck in back-to-back interviews for 2 more weeks. By the time week 4 rolls around and you finally have a report, the whole situation might have changed. And the worst part? You only find out who's really against your idea when you're standing in front of them in the hot seat during the formal presentation. It's just too late. And when you really break it down, the drawbacks are just glaring. We're talking 3, maybe 4 weeks of your life and upwards of $16,000, all for a single static snapshot of what people were thinking at one moment in time. There's no way to test your pitch, no way to see if a different angle would work better. You get one shot and you're pretty much flying blind. But what if you could run the meeting before the meeting? What if you could simulate the entire boardroom and see how things play out? This is exactly where a totally new approach, powered by AI, is turning everything on its head. So the heart of this new method is something called AI personas. Now, these are not your average chatbots, not even close. Think of them as incredibly detailed digital twins of your key executives, built on real data about their priorities, their decision-making styles, and even who they listen to in the company. These personas are so realistic because they're built on 3 key dimensions. First, you've got cognitive biases. You know, the subconscious things that drive all of us, like being more afraid of losing something than excited about gaining something. Second, organizational priorities. Is the CFO obsessed with cutting costs right now, or are they focused on long-term growth? And third, and this is so important, influence networks. The AI actually understands that if the COO isn't on board, certain VPs are probably going to follow her lead. And get this isn't just some cool theory. Research coming out of Stanford has actually shown that these AI personas can hit 85% human-like behavioral accuracy. That means they're consistent, they're predictable, and they're incredibly close to how the real person would react. Okay, that's the tech. Super cool. But how does it actually work in a real-world, high-stakes situation? Let's follow a consultant who used this as her secret weapon. So meet Sarah. She had this huge task: get 12 senior leaders aligned on a really complex supply chain project. Instead of spending a month doing interviews, she just simulated the whole group. She tested five different ways to pitch her idea. And boom, the simulation instantly uncovered this hidden resistance from the regional VPs, who thought our plan was a threat. It also flagged the COO as the key person she had to win over. Armed with that knowledge, she set up a quick pre-meeting with the COO, tweaked her presentation, and the result? Unanimous approval in the very first meeting. I mean, this chart really says it all, doesn't it? What took Sarah 25 minutes would have normally taken 4 weeks and cost over 18 grand. But the most important number here is at the very bottom. Instead of walking into a high-risk gamble, she walked in knowing she already had a winning strategy. It's a complete game changer. Here's another quick, perfect example. This consultant, Michael, he was pitching a tech upgrade. His whole message was cost reduction, but the AI persona for the CFO was just not having it. The simulation showed that because the market was so volatile, the CFO's biggest driver was fear of loss. So what did Michael do? He reframed his entire pitch around risk mitigation. The result was a 40% jump in the CFO's support. Same project, just a way smarter message. You know, this is about so much more than just acing one meeting. This capability represents a massive, fundamental shift in how strategy gets made and actually put into practice. This kind of simulation really shines in the messiest, most complicated situations. We're talking about those complex, matrix organizations where no one's really sure who's in charge, or for huge cross-functional projects, and especially in the super high-stakes world of mergers and acquisitions. It's basically built for any environment where change is the only constant, and getting everyone aligned is absolutely critical. So what this all boils down to is a massive shift in thinking. We're moving away from these static, one-and-done reports and toward a living, breathing, iterative process. Getting your strategy aligned is no longer this month-long ordeal. It's something you can test, learn from, and perfect in a matter of minutes. And that really just leaves us with one final, powerful question to think about. What would change for you? What could you and your organization actually achieve if you could walk into any critical meeting already knowing with confidence how it was going to turn out?